I'm resting now. I'm sitting here talking to you guys. I'm resting when I get in my car and head home. I'm resting when I get home. I'll rest tomorrow. I think this whole narrative of, LeBron needs more rest, or I should take more rest, or I should take time here, has become a lot bigger than what it actually really is. I've never talked about it. I don't talk about it. I don't believe in it. We all need more rest. I mean, this is a fast turnaround from last season, and we all wish we can have more rest. But, I'm here to work, and I'm here to punch my clock in and be available to my teammates.
All right, Max, you're a bandwagon Lakers fan, so I'll start with you. I'd actually have more respect for you if you became a Nets fan at this point, but that discussion's for another day. Max, do you think the Lakers should be worried that LeBron is playing too many minutes at this point in the season and at the age of 36?
Of course, because LeBron James is in uncharted territory. Of course, Lakers fans should be concerned he's playing too many minutes. Dave McMenamin, who does excellent work on ESPN.com, go check it out. Since the start of the month, before the start of this month, LeBron James was averaging, I believe it was 43rd in terms of number of minutes played per game. That's not so bad. He's, a lot of great players play a lot of minutes, understood. That's not top 10 or something like that. Lakers are doing fine. Since the start of this month, it's 11 games. Since the start of this month, he's leading the league in minutes played. Now, the reason that's an issue is because every single time LeBron James takes the court, he's setting a new record, sort of like Tom Brady in the NFL. No one has ever played at his level, having logged this many minutes, this many miles on an NBA court. Ever. Never. Not even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's never been done before. So every time he takes the court, we're learning something new. And what it seems and it's natural, AD goes down and you pull even harder. The sense with the team is we need more from our leader. This is why, Stephen A., you and I debated this yesterday. Does LeBron need to do more? Sometimes less is more. Sometimes when you pull too hard, it can be counterproductive because it's not like LeBron normally slacks off. He does everything in his power always to help his team. So now we're asking him to do even more, or really, as he's putting it, he's asking himself. Not a good idea. Number one, because it seems the team and his own performance regresses slightly as his minutes go up. Understandable. And number two, knock wood, Stephen A., you want to avoid a catastrophic injury. Given the number of minutes this dude has already played in his career, given the fact he never really has an offseason because he plays in the finals every single year, given his usage rate and everything he has to do, not to mention his off-the-court responsibilities, which are more than any superstar in any league on the planet Earth. Yes, I am worried, as a Lakers fan, about LeBron James playing too much.
Well, normally I could just dismiss what you're saying because it's the sport of basketball, and I don't know if you should have a license to talk basketball as much as you do personally. But, it really, in this particular instance, and Molly will laugh at this because I'm allowed to lean on football, Max Kellerman, to have fun with you this morning. I appreciate your take. I appreciate you starting your take off at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific out here in L.A. I appreciate you starting the show off this way because you've got me inspired. Because, Molly, correct me if I'm wrong, because I think you were sitting in that chair. Max Kellerman started on First Take on July 25th, 2016. Max didn't think I would remember such a thing, but I do. And on that particular day.
It is kind of unbelievable you remember the exact date.
The day you stopped winning debates. Of course you remember.
Absolutely, right? So Max
the last
Kellerman,
debate you won must have been July 24th.
Hold on, don't interrupt me.
Part of him died that day.
I did not interrupt you, Max. I did not interrupt you. And, of course, you win debates because you take 9 different takes, so 9 different sides. So that's how you ensure that you don't lose. But here's the deal.
Only seems that way, brother.
July 25th, 2016, that was the day that Max Kellerman said that Tom Brady was over a cliff. Or would be in short order within the next 18 months. Over the next 5 seasons that we have been on the air, Tom Brady has went to four Super Bowls and won 3. And this is the expert that wants us to take into account how, you know what, age, attrition, father time are something to be concerned about. You would think, Molly, that this man has learned his lesson about sitting there and writing folks' epitaph a little bit too early. You would think that Max Kellerman would recognize
about
greatness and how there's an aberration that occurs every now and then, and that there are people that defy the odds. Even Max Kellerman has ultimately came out and said there are certain people who defy the odds, which brings us to LeBron James. Who's hurt for the Los Angeles Lakers right now? That would be Anthony Davis. It would even be Dennis Schroeder. It would not be LeBron James. LeBron James has not missed a game this year. LeBron James is 36. He's in his 18th season. We've had Russell Westbrook missing games. All right, of course, Klay's out for the season. Kevin Durant has missed games. And by the way, Kevin Durant, who's fresh off an Achilles tear, is averaging 35.7 minutes a game when he plays. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that when you look at LeBron James, his minutes are not something to be concerned about, because if there's one thing that LeBron James has earned over more than anything else he has earned in his career, it's to be trustworthy when it comes to his own body, his own conditioning, what he can take, what he needs, etc., etc. Be concerned about LeBron James' three-point shooting since the month of February began. Be concerned about that. Certainly be concerned about his free throw shooting, because he missed another key pivotal free throw last night. And obviously he's a career like 73, 74% shooter. He ain't the most reliable shooter from the free throw line in the world. Be concerned about those things. But to be concerned about his minutes and to be concerned about his health, where there are a litany of examples to point to with dudes who are younger, but somehow, some way, can't stay nearly as healthy as this guy continues to stay throughout his illustrious career. Throughout it, I would say let's all pump the brakes, relax. If LeBron James says he's okay, he's okay. If he says there's a reason to be concerned, then we need to be concerned. He has earned that because his reputation, his history, and his resume demands it.
Well, you got jokes, but there is truth to what you say in terms of giving LeBron the benefit of the doubt.
There's always truth to what I say.
Both with Tom Brady, and I was wrong on the cliff prediction with Brady, obviously, but I was just using all of human history versus the odds that Tom Brady would defy all that by this margin. He did it.
And that's what you're doing with LeBron.
Yes. That's right, and LeBron has already done something like what Brady is doing, but that doesn't guarantee the future. Let me give you a couple examples. Let me give you one notable example. The last Lakers great on this level was Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, also straight from high school, also didn't suffer through major catastrophic injuries through his career. Took fanatical care of his body, experimental treatments and nutrition and workouts, and was able to play season in and season out at an absurdly high level on offense, and the dude played defense, both. And I was in L.A., Stephen A., on the air on L.A. radio doing Afternoon Drive when Kobe Bryant staged essentially a mutiny against Mike D'Antoni, because what D'Antoni was doing was not working with the Lakers' dream team. Remember the Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, Pau Gasol, Kobe Bryant dream team? They're supposed to win the whole thing. They weren't going to make the playoffs. It was so disastrous. Kobe said, forget all this. I'm running the show. This is how we're doing it. I'm going to play over 40 minutes a game. And D'Antoni, I don't think, felt he had the standing to take Kobe out, especially once Kobe basically took over the team. And he was playing like 40-something minutes a game for a couple weeks. And I was on the air saying, wait, careful. And then the Achilles went. Now, Stephen A., it's not the same thing. I'm not pretending this is the same thing. LeBron's not averaging 40-something minutes a game, but he is, since the start of this month, averaging the most minutes in the NBA. And the fact of the matter is, the performance of the team is regressing, even without AD. You'd say, well, take AD out. You'd expect a little bit more, and they're getting a little less. And you have to wonder at this age, number one, is it having that impact on his own and the team's performance? Number two, what's it going to mean for the finals or for the playoffs when they roll around? And number three, the risk of injury.
First of all, you're wrong. Mike that wasn't Kobe just doing mutiny. Mike D'Antoni was more than willing to allow Kobe to play those minutes. It wasn't because of cachet. That's how Mike D'Antoni rolled. Go look at Steve Nash. And so was I. And I spoke to Mike D'Antoni about it. Mike D'Antoni made no apologies for the minutes that Kobe Bryant was playing at that particular moment in time. He did not mind at all. That's what Mike D'Antoni does. Go look at Steve Nash. Go look at his resume with Steve Nash. Go look at what he did. Go look at the minutes Amari Stoudemire was playing before his knees gave out. Mike D'Antoni, the Sean Marions of the world and others. Mike D'Antoni had no problem riding. That brother would drive you into the ground. It's about now. You didn't practice heavy with Mike D'Antoni because he knew you were going to play those minutes.
Whatever, he still played the minutes.
That's not the point. The point is you said it was Kobe, and I'm telling you that's Mike D'Antoni as well because Mike D'Antoni's philosophy
well, I have reason to know it was Kobe, but go ahead.
Excuse me. You don't have reason to know. You don't know what you're talking about. That is false, okay? It wasn't just Kobe. It was Mike D'Antoni. Okay. Absolutely. You don't know. I'm telling you, you don't know. The fact of the matter is this is what Mike D'Antoni does. That was his reputation. That is what he has done. And in terms of LeBron James, as it pertains to Tom Brady, what I'm saying to you is this. Because Tom Brady was that aberration, I'm saying, why can't you look at LeBron with all the evidence there for you to say, he's the aberration. He's not the one to apply your usual logic towards that father time, attrition, and all of those things.
That's just the injury part.
That's LeBron James. How come he can't be trusted?
You're focusing on the injury part. What about the performance part?
What do you mean, what about the performance part? The brother had 31 and 13 last night.
LeBron James, it's not that he can't ball, Stephen A. I'm talking about his performance now and in the future. His efficiency on offense right now is the lowest since his rookie year. It's still better than almost everyone else. He's LeBron freaking James.
But he's been struggling for the last month.
Since his rookie year. And he plays into the finals every year.
But he just played. This was going on even before Anthony Davis got injured. It's not because of Anthony Davis being injured.
For me.
I'm sorry, Molly. Go ahead.
All right.
It's declined since then.
Let's all take a moment here. This was a lot hot out of the gate on a Tuesday morning. I'm into it. We're going to revisit this a little bit later in the show, so you guys will have more time. I want to get to